training kit.
Wait, I'm sorry. There was
Literally a toilet training kit.
Was it like SpongeBob for the little boys to pee on? Is that what it was?
Wow! And I'm proud to say I've almost completed the course.
Wow! You're gonna get there, man. Keep the dream alive. You missed.
Use a public
You need to
restroom
aim a little better. Roger's a big boy.
It's okay, so...
Roger's a poopy boy.
Okay, so that's your prize. SpongeBob memorabilia. Anyone else have a prized piece of SpongeBob?
Not for SpongeBob, but a few of us have the Frozen Walt in the Ice Cube, which is actually a tie-in to this show today, because he did those in Cal Arts.
Yeah, back when we were going to Cal Arts back in like 93, 92 or 93, we did a whole like 100 or 200 series on the wall.
Yeah, it was just this weird thing that Steve did where he made like a really limited edition of this little blue-faced Walt with mouse ears on in an ice cube, like in a suit like resin. Yeah, it's like that big, you know. And yeah, they're really desirable, you know. So yeah, I got one prized possession. Me too. It really is one of my favorite things ever, you know. Man, and he did those when he was a animation student at Cal Arts.
Which was like the Disney college, so it's kind of controversial.
Yeah, it's like a feeder school. It's a feeder school for Disney.
It was on the Hush Hush who did it for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's pretty much my prized possession too. But then there's also like a lot of drawings and just, you know, animators, you know, and animation people, they can't not draw. Like, you know, it's a compulsion. It's a compulsion. So they're just drawing all the time, and then they will just get up and leave the studio and leave this crap lying around. And it should. I'm like, this can't go in the blue bin. You know what I mean? It's too cool. So yeah, I got a lot of that stuff, including when animators need to break out from drawing the same characters 8 billion times and they're a little bit bored. It's amazing the activities that they'll draw those characters engaging in. And some of those drawings are hilarious and scatological.
I saw the collection and I had to take a shower after.
Yes.
Okay, well, before we get to our table read, I just have to say, Mark and Vince, what is the secret? What happened? Did something happen? Oh!
I had that poster.
I was like, something happened, but it's that.
I love the fourth guy from the left.
Maintaining the tone of the show, to keeping it fresh, to bringing in, my daughter is 6 years old, you know, and she's a new fan, you know, in the last 6 years. So how do you keep doing this? How do you keep hearing this word?
Most of it is just the fact that Steve, when he laid out this show, the characters that he put together for a cast, because most people pitch shows and it's like limited as something that's just about them and not about other things. Not every show comes with a fully formed cast of the gamut of personalities to bounce off each other, and I think we're just lucky to have that to work with.
Also the show is mostly just our mandate is just to be funny. Yeah. We don't have to like have teachable moments or so shows usually do. So
this isn't gonna be on PBS Kids. Yeah.
I find that it's very teachable in terms of a kind of sensibility and sense of humor that, in particular, my daughter is developing. Based
that's
on
completely
her
unintentional. We didn't need to do any of that.
My favorite beats in the show are always ones where I can sense that maybe there might be a parent watching and enjoying it with their child at the same time. And it appeals to multiple generations simultaneously.
Do you think
Or a parent being driven absolutely crazy by it, you know what I mean? Like, why are you still watching that show? You know, I like that too, you know what I mean? It kind of feels kind of subversive, but yeah, I mean, getting back to what, you know, Steve's laying it out, it's funny because the show is, you know, kind of nonsense, I guess, and foolishness and crazy antic stuff, but Steve really did, before the first episode, the pilot was even made, like, he had all that nonsense thought out, like, in a Tolkien way, you know what I mean? Like, it was like Lord of the Sponge, you know? Like he had it all mapped out, and, you know, the Sponge of Marillion.
And because Stephen was a he incorporated actual marine phenomenon into the show. And I'll bet you didn't know that fish actually walk around streets and have buses and fast food places.
All true.
Campfires.
Yeah.
In spite of all the chaos and craziness that happens on the show and in the recording studios, Steve had a rigor about the show, about how it was supposed to feel, and I don't think he ever really communicated it to any of us in words, but by the time we were going to wrap up in the third season, third season, I think we all had a pretty good sense of what the show was supposed to be and what it was always supposed to be.
Yeah, that's true. He didn't lay out like this is my manifesto for SpongeBob. You know,
Yeah,
but
it was,
you're right. There was
in the colors.
He just took us
in
there.
the world. It was in the you know, the lilies, the flowers that are. I mean, it's.
And he knew what he wanted so thoroughly that it was easy to express that to us without being, you know, dictatorial and beating us over the head.
And he sat in the room with us when he directed those early sessions. He was in the room with us. He wasn't in there with the engineers. He would set up a table and he would doodle with some cans on it, and then he would do it.
Yeah, and I would say Mark and Vince continued that vibe for sure.
And
Except
he
we used
kept
Steve's
with it,
art.
you know, he wouldn't allow he would allow merchandising for like kids learning how to go to, toilet training kids, but he wouldn't allow merchandising for fish sticks.
Yeah, no fish sticks, yeah.
You know,
No fish sticks.
Band-aids, yes, but no fish sticks.
No actual Krabby Patties.
All right,
you
let's
connect
get.
those dots, you got the show.
We're gonna do this the table read of pressure. I do want to ask one quick question. Do you use memes of your own characters to send to your friends and family? And if so, I want to know which one. Do you use any? Tom, come on, you've sent a SpongeBob meme.
I'm a total social media hermit, as some of you might know if you've ever tried to look me up. I'm like the last actor that doesn't have Facebook or Twitter or anything. Like I'm a total hermit, but I do keep up with all these. I like how the imagination has kind of been subverted to I don't care. That's a genius on some memesters' part.
I send all the birthday ones. I send anything that I can send that seems to have to do with birthday.
I like the one where Patrick's face turns into Julia Roberts. Tickles me.
It's pretty striking actually to have Squidward's face morph into my face because they're very similar.
My turn.
I managed to dodge that bullet.
All right.
I hope.